Okay, story number 3 from our first Grafton Correctionals run. So we had some outside runners come in to run with the inmates, and that was fantastic. We only had about 15 because we didn't have much time to promote the event, and also because I just wanted to keep it small because the logistics of getting visitors in is a little complicated. You got to go through security, and you can't just leave when you want to leave, and and you can't bring in phones and all that sort of stuff because it's a prison. So not everybody, would want to run a race in that environment, but several guys did. They were very excited about it because they just wanted to experience what that life is like. And one of the guys that came in to run was a younger guy. His name is Ed, and very good runner. I haven't looked him up yet, but he may even be like a sub-elite in this area. But we started off the race together. We started the 5K and the half marathon together. So again, this is a 3/4 mile loop. So we had to run a lot of loops. So the 5K runners and the half marathon runners all kind of started off together in a pack. And very quickly, a young guy took off. And he was a guy that I haven't run with yet. He's an inmate. So this is another guy. So there's an inmate, and then there's this guy that came in from the outside. So the inmate took off, and I hadn't run with him, but I'd heard about him. And I knew he was a really good athlete. I could just tell by looking at him. And he told me what his goal was to run an hour, 30-minute half marathon, which is going pretty fast. That's right around a 7-minute pace. And so that was his goal. And then when he took off, this other young guy that was running in the pack with us from the outside, he said, "Hey, what's that guy doing? Is he running a half marathon?" I said, "Yeah, he's running a half marathon. His goal is 1:30. So he said, "Oh, well, I'm going with him." So those two took off together, and they ran side by side for the whole thing. So 16 loops. And they just ran, and the guy from the outside was pacing this young guy, coaching him the whole way. I heard him talking to him about, keeping his pace steady, working on his breathing, making sure that he's drinking, doing all the things that you need to do to successfully complete a race. And they got finished, and they finished together, and the young inmate, actually won the whole event. But he could only do so because this guy paced him. And I've been talking with the pacer about this, and he's really excited about the impact he was able to have on this young guy's life. And he's considering becoming one of our mentors. And that's the thing that I really want to point out, is that we don't have to be like this great athlete. We don't have to do anything but what we're capable of doing. And the important thing is just be present with other people, because the pacing isn't so much about the advice and the talking, because when you're running 7-minute miles for 13 miles, you're not listening to a lot. You're just focusing on your breathing and that sort of stuff. And you're in that zone where you're not hearing a lot of different things. But just having somebody run right beside you is amazing. You just naturally want to keep up with them. You naturally want to, because we have this herding instinct, right? We want to be part of the herd. So that's all it takes to be a good mentor, a good pacer, is to just be there. The ministry of presence, that just being there to listen and support. We don't have to give advice. We don't have to fix problems. Just be there for one another. And one of our pacers outside, hopefully now mentor, I'm hoping he becomes one, did that for this young man. And it was amazing to see that connection.